To understand how statistics can play a bigger role in our lives today, we can draw inspiration from our forebears who lived through the 19th century transition from statistics as the tool of the autocrat to statistics in the service of progress, of deepening our knowledge and appreciation of life and the universe. The founding fathers of the Royal Statistical Society took the wheat sheaf as their symbol to show that their passion was to gather the data so it could be threshed to reveal the golden corn, the value hidden in the fields that lay all around them. The Royal Statistical Society is one of the oldest statistical societies in the world. It was born in 1834. Prince Albert became its first royal patron in 1840. Charles Babbage is perhaps the best well-known of the founders, inventor of the computer, his difference engine. He was also an astronomer, mathematician, mechanical engineer, and philosopher. His insight behind the birth of the computer was that calculations are fraught with human error. By mechanising calculation, error could be reduced, precision improved, and conclusions reached with more confidence. Statistical thinking driving world-changing technology. John Eliot Drinkwater worked in Parliament as an administrator and had a strong affinity with libraries. It is his commitment to the education of girls that marks him out. Ahead of his time, his passion for knowledge as a force for human progress is a beacon to the statistical profession today. Richard Jones was an economist who rejected the idea of economic man, hailed in classical economic theory. His study rested instead on observation of facts and appreciation of history. His work was careful to avoid reaching stronger conclusions than the facts support. Born in Tunbridge Wells, where Thomas Bayes had lived, and like him a local clergyman, his work shows the value to statistical thinking of being grounded in the real world, the quirkiness of places and human nature, rather than the abstracted world of theory. Henry Hallam was an historian, renowned for its meticulous use of source material. Whilst he was never a politician, he was associated with important social campaigns, not the least of which was the abolition of the slave trade. Along with Charles Babbage, John Eliot Drinkwater, and Richard Jones, he was a member of the original committee of 4 appointed to prepare the regulations for the new society. He became its first treasurer. And finally, to the first president of the society, Henry, the 3rd Marquis of Lansdowne. Henry entered the House of Commons in 1802 and went on to have a ministerial career spanning almost 50 years, serving as Chancellor of the Exchequer, Home Secretary, and 3 times as Lord President of the Council. Recognised for his wisdom and lack of political dogma, he was a frequent counsellor to Queen Victoria. As the leader of the august body of founders of the Royal Statistical Society, he symbolised the link between statistics and the state, and the role of statistics at the heart of decision-making. From those first meetings of the Founding Fathers, the lineage of the Society stretches forward, both as a beacon and a challenge for their successors today. As if to make the point, Lord Lansdowne was the first person to be re-elected as president, and also paved the way for other leading politicians subsequently to become president, including William Ewart Gladstone when he was also Prime Minister, and Harold Wilson when he was leader of the opposition. Florence Nightingale was the first female member of the Society, elected in 1858. She illustrates the deep link between medicine and statistics, exemplified also by William Guy, whose memory lives on in medals awarded by the Society for outstanding contributions to statistics, and Austin Bradford Hill, who pioneered the randomised clinical trial, and with Richard Dole demonstrated the link between cigarette smoking and lung cancer. For me, whilst not wishing to diminish the contributions of so many others, a few other past presidents also stand out as inspirations to guide our future ambition for statistics. Charles Booth, for his passion to eradicate poverty, his role in the introduction of the old age pension, and for his wonderful statistical maps. Arthur Lyon Bowley, for being the first professor of statistics, being a pioneer in bringing sampling into social surveys, and his role in the definition and measurement of national accounts. William Beveridge, for his ability to appeal across the political spectrum, to fight the giant evils of want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. Ronald Fisher, for creating the foundations of statistical method that are still the bread and butter of students of statistics today. Stella Cunliffe, our first female president, who died last year aged 95, for her determination to bring the power of statistics to bear on the most difficult decisions of the day. In her case, advising the Home Secretary on issues of crime and punishment, including the abolition of the death penalty. Klaus Moser, for his statistical story and his creation in 1970 of the publication Social Trends, which was famously launched in the drawing room of number 10 Downing Street in the presence of Ted Heath, the Prime Minister, and a string quartet. As head of the Government Statistical Service, Klaus said, "Statisticians, we are part of policy, part of the management of the nation. What could be more important?" More recently, in the run-up to and since the merger between the Royal Statistical Society and the Institute of Statisticians in 1993, we have been well served by a sequence of presidents who have built up the Society to the extraordinary position it occupies today. Each of these people has inspired me during my career to date and has made a contribution not just to our Royal Statistical Society, but to the wider notion of society at large. John Kingman, Peter Moore, Fred Smith, David Bartholomew, Adrian Smith, Robert Curnow, Denise Leavesley, Peter Green, Andy Grieve, Tim Holt, David Hand, Bernard Silverman, and Valerie Isham. I salute each of you.